Do you feel lost when people speak English? Do you try to read English books but find them too hard to understand? You look at the words, but your brain feels tired. This is a very big problem for many beginners. You want to understand, but the words are too fast and too difficult. Today, this will change completely. I promise you will understand a full English story today. You will learn new words easily without studying boring lists. We are going to learn English through story. This is Story 1, made just for you. Before we start, please subscribe to the English Flow podcast. If you subscribe, you will never miss a simple story to help you grow. Let us begin our very first story. This is a story about a young man named Tom. Tom is a very nice person, but he has a big dream. He wants to speak English very well. He lives in a small blue house in a quiet town. Every morning, Tom wakes up early. He opens his eyes, looks at the window, and sees the bright sun. He smiles because he knows today is a new day to learn. He gets out of bed and stretches his arms. Tom believes that learning English through story is the best way to improve. He does not like boring grammar books. He likes to hear people talk. He likes to imagine the characters and the places. Today, Tom decides to go on a small adventure in his town. He wants to practice his English with real people. He puts on his favorite red shirt and blue jeans. He is ready to start his day and learn new words. Tom walks into his small kitchen to make breakfast. He is very hungry. He opens the fridge and looks inside. He sees milk, eggs, and some fresh orange juice. He takes out 2 eggs and a bottle of cold milk. He puts a pan on the stove and cooks the eggs. While the eggs are cooking, he makes a cup of hot tea. Tom loves to drink tea in the morning. He sits at his small wooden table and eats his breakfast slowly. He looks out the kitchen window and watches the birds fly in the sky. The birds are singing a happy morning song. Tom feels very calm and happy. He thinks about the English words for his food. He says the words out loud to practice. He says egg, milk, tea, and bread. He repeats the words 3 times. This is a very good way to remember new vocabulary. He finishes his food and washes his plate in the sink. After his delicious breakfast, Tom opens his front door and steps outside. The morning air is very fresh and cool. He takes a deep breath and smiles. He decides to walk to the local market. The market is not very far from his house. It is only a short walk down the street. As he walks, he looks at the beautiful trees and the colorful flowers. He sees red roses and yellow tulips. He says the names of the colors in English. He says red, yellow, green, and blue. Practicing simple words every day helps him a lot. He sees his neighbor, Mr. Smith, working in his garden. Mr. Smith is an old man with a kind smile. Tom waves his hand and says good morning in English. Mr. Smith smiles back and says good morning too. Tom is very happy because he understood the greeting. He continues walking to the market with a very big smile on his face. Tom finally arrives at the busy market. There are many people everywhere. Some people are buying food, and some people are selling things. The market is very loud and full of life. Tom hears many different voices. He tries to listen carefully to the words they're saying. He wants to catch some English words. He walks past a big fruit stand. The fruit stand has many fresh fruits. There are red apples, yellow bananas, and green grapes. The fruits look very delicious and sweet. A woman is standing behind the fruit stand. She is wearing a green apron. She asks Tom if he wants to buy some fruit. She speaks very fast, but Tom listens closely. He understands the word buy and the word fruit. He feels very proud of himself. He is learning English through story and real life. He decides to buy some apples for his lunch later. He takes 3 big red apples and smiles at the woman. Tom gives the woman some money for the 3 red apples. The woman takes the money and gives him his change. She says, "Thank you very much." Tom replies and says, "You are welcome." This is a very simple conversation, but it is very important for a beginner. Tom puts the apples in his brown bag. He walks to the next shop. This shop sells fresh bread and cakes. The smell of the warm bread is amazing. It makes Tom feel hungry again, even though he just ate breakfast. He looks through the big glass window. He sees white bread, brown bread, and small sweet cakes. He walks inside the shop. The baker is a tall man with a white hat. Tom points to a loaf of brown bread. He says, "1 bread, please." The baker smiles and gives him the bread. Tom pays for the bread and says, "Thank you." He is doing a great job practicing his English today. Now Tom has fresh apples and warm bread in his brown bag. He leaves the busy market and walks towards the town park. The park is a very quiet and peaceful place. It is the perfect place to relax and read a book. Tom loves the park because it has many tall green trees and a small blue lake. He walks on the soft green grass. He hears the wind blowing through the leaves. It is a very beautiful sound. He sees children playing near the water. They are running and laughing loudly. Tom watches them and remembers when he was a little boy. He walks to his favorite wooden bench under a very big oak tree. He sits down on the bench and puts his bag next to him. He takes a deep breath and enjoys the fresh air. He feels very relaxed. He is ready to rest and maybe read a simple English story to practice his reading skills. While Tom is sitting on the bench, he sees a little dog. The dog is very small and has soft brown hair. It is running around the park very fast. The little dog looks very happy and playful. It runs up to Tom and stops in front of his feet. The dog looks up at Tom with big brown eyes. Tom smiles and reaches down to pet the dog. He touches the soft hair on the dog's head. He says, "Hello, little dog," in English. The dog wags its tail and barks softly. Tom thinks the dog is very cute. He looks around to see if the dog has an owner. He sees a young girl running towards them. She looks very worried. She calls out a name. She shouts, "Buster, come here." The little dog hears his name and runs back to the girl. The girl smiles at Tom and says thank you. Tom nods his head and says no problem. After the little dog and the girl leave, Tom opens his bag. He takes out a small book. It is a book for learning English. It is full of simple stories and pictures. Tom opens the book to the first page. He starts to read the words slowly and carefully. He reads about a cat and a mouse. The words are very easy for him to understand. When he finds a new word, he stops reading. He looks at the word and tries to guess what it means. He looks at the picture next to the word to help him. This is a very smart way to learn English through story. You do not need a dictionary for every single word. You can use the story to understand the meaning. Tom reads 3 pages of his book. He feels very happy because he understands the whole story. He closes the book and puts it back inside his brown bag next to his apples. Suddenly, the bright sun goes away. Tom looks up at the sky. He sees big dark clouds moving in. The sky changes from blue to dark gray. The wind starts to blow very hard. The tall trees shake in the wind. Tom feels a cold drop of water on his face. Then he feels another drop on his hand. It is starting to rain. The rain comes down faster and faster. The children in the park stop playing and run to their homes. Tom stands up quickly from the wooden bench. He picks up his brown bag. He does not have an umbrella with him. He needs to find a dry place to stay. He looks around the park, but there is no place to hide from the heavy rain. He remembers there is a small cafe near the park entrance. He decides to run to the cafe before he gets totally wet. He runs as fast as he can through the rain. Tom runs very fast and finally reaches the small cafe. He pushes the heavy glass door and goes inside. He is breathing very hard. His red shirt and blue jeans are a little bit wet from the rain. He shakes the water off his clothes. The cafe is very warm and cozy. It smells like fresh coffee and sweet chocolate. There are many small round tables and comfortable chairs. Some people are sitting and drinking hot drinks. They are talking quietly or reading books. Tom finds an empty table near a big window. He sits down and puts his bag on the chair next to him. He looks out the window and watches the rain fall on the street. He is glad he is inside, where it is warm and dry. He waits for a waiter to come to his table. He wants to order a hot drink to warm up his cold body. He thinks about how to order in English. A friendly waiter walks over to the table. The waiter is holding a small notebook and a pen. He smiles at Tom and asks, "What would you like to drink today?" Tom takes a deep breath. He wants to speak clear English. He remembers the words he learned from his simple stories. He looks at the waiter and says, "I would like a hot cup of coffee, please." The waiter writes the order in his small notebook. He asks Tom, "Do you want milk and sugar in your coffee?" Tom understands the question perfectly. He nods his head and says, "Yes, a little milk and 1 sugar, please." The waiter says, "Okay, I will bring it right away." Tom is so happy. He just had a real conversation in English. He did not feel nervous or scared. He spoke slowly and clearly. The waiter understood him without any problems. This is a very big success for Tom on his English learning journey. Tom sits at his table and waits for his hot coffee. He feels very proud of himself. He thinks about his morning. He woke up, made breakfast, and went to the market. He bought apples and bread using simple English words. He went to the park, met a little dog, and read an English book. Now he is sitting in a cafe, and he ordered coffee in English. Every step of his day was a lesson. He realizes that learning English is not just about sitting in a classroom. It is about living your life and using the language every single day. You can learn English through story, and you can learn it by speaking to people. The waiter comes back and puts a white cup of hot coffee on the table. He also gives Tom a small silver spoon. Tom says thank you to the waiter. He picks up the warm cup and takes a small sip. The coffee tastes very good. Tom finishes his delicious hot coffee. He looks out the window again. The dark clouds are gone, and the rain has stopped. The bright sun is shining in the sky again. The streets are wet, but the weather is beautiful. Tom stands up and walks to the counter. He pays for his coffee with a big smile. He says goodbye to the friendly waiter and leaves the cafe. He walks outside and breathes in the fresh air. The air smells very clean after the rain. He decides it is time to go back to his small blue house. He walks slowly down the street. He looks at the shops and the people. He feels very confident now. He knows that his English is getting better every day. He is not afraid to make mistakes anymore. He knows that making mistakes is just a normal part of learning. He swings his brown bag gently as he walks all the way back to his house. Tom finally arrives back at his small blue house. He unlocks the front door and goes inside. The house is very quiet and peaceful. He goes to the kitchen and puts his brown bag on the table. He takes out the red apples and the brown bread. He is ready to make his lunch. He cuts the bread and eats it with some cheese and an apple. The food is very simple, but very tasty. After lunch, Tom goes to his living room. He sits on his comfortable sofa. He turns on the television. He finds a channel that plays English movies. He watches a movie about a family living in a big city. He listens to the actors speak. He tries to catch the words he knows. He hears the words hello, family, house, and beautiful. He understands many parts of the movie. This makes him feel very excited. He spends the whole afternoon watching the movie and practicing his listening skills. Nighttime comes, and the sky turns black. Tom is very tired after his long and exciting day. He turns off the television and goes to his bedroom. He puts on his soft pajamas and gets into his warm bed. He turns off the lamp next to his bed. The room is very dark and quiet. He closes his eyes and thinks about his adventure. He thinks about the market, the park, the rain, and the cafe. He remembers all the English words he used today. He feels very happy and satisfied with his progress. He knows he still has a lot to learn, but he is moving forward. Slowly, Tom falls asleep. In his sleep, he starts to dream. He dreams that he is in a big city talking to many people. He is speaking English perfectly in his dream. He is fluent and confident. Tomorrow will be another great day to learn English through story and real-life practice. What a wonderful day Tom had. We followed Tom from his quiet morning at his small blue house all the way to the busy market where he bought fresh apples and bread. We went with him to the park, met a playful little dog, and ran from the heavy rain to a warm cafe. The best part was watching Tom order his coffee in English with so much confidence. He proved that learning English through story and everyday life is the best method. Did you understand Tom and his adventure? I am sure you did. Next time, we will follow Tom on a completely new trip. Where will he go next? Will he travel to a big city or visit the beach? You will have to listen to find out. Please subscribe to the English Flow podcast channel right now. Follow us on social media so you never miss our next English story. Keep listening, keep practicing, and see you next time.